guys, it's time for another video. My name is Mike Munzing with Munzing Mortgage Group. It's a beautiful weekend coming up. I'm a little casual today, getting ready for the weekend, but I want to bring you the report, let you know what's going on in the mortgage industry, kind of what's affecting the market, and how things are looking for you, and especially your buyers and your sellers, so you know what to do. I've been around the lending industry for about 21 years, 28 total in real estate. Yeah, I am that old. But let's jump first into the rates for the week. Each week I put this rate sheet up on my website at www.mikemunzing.com so you can print it out, take it to your open house, go over these rates in general with your home buyers, with the people visiting, gets that conversation going, let them know that with these lower rates, they can really effectively buy a home, and it works definitely in their favor. Once these rates start going up, and I know I've talked to a lot of you, and it does look like in fairly short order, these rates may be going up here. You got the conforming rates at top, the basic jumbo rates down here, the conforming jumbo, and down below, even the jumbo rates up to $3 million are looking a lot better. So these are great. Okay, I've got a couple of quick reports that I want to cover for you. In the Realtor magazine, came out recently. It's a good friend of mine brought this to my attention. The chief economist for the National Association of Realtors, Lawrence Yun, came out with an article in the magazine here. Let me cover just a couple of things that he put up. And it's basically titled, "Banks Must Get Back to Business." And that's been a big part of the problem, is that the banks really haven't been lending. And that's really proven out here by the FDIC recently in a report that kind of covered up to the year ending March of 2011. They said that, read the numbers here real quick, that the banks overall, the deposits have been up about $300 billion for all the banks around the country. Their assets are up about $80 billion. Their profits are up about $12 billion. But the loans that they've given out have dropped about $260 billion. And that really hashes out. Lawrence says, kind of tongue-in-cheek here, that the banking industry basically had the old rule of a 363 rule, which, let me read it here, basically 3% interest to the depositors. They would charge 6% on the loans that they lend out, and they were on the golf course by 3 o'clock in the afternoon, so the 363. Now what they're doing is the 003 rule, which isn't helping any of us. They're not doing their job as a bank, and that's they offer nothing to the depositors. They're not lending any money, and some of the joke is that they're still at the golf course by 3, but they're making 3% off buying tradable assets like government bonds and stocks. The government is lending them money. They're basically giving them money for free, then lending it back to them, giving them 3%. It's horrific. The banks are not doing what they're supposed to be doing, lending money to the borrowers. Obviously, Fannie Mae, Freddie Mac are helping out some, but they're also not lending money to the businesses which create the jobs for our buyers to be able to qualify for the loans. This has been a huge problem. Now, Lawrence, being in the political world of National Association of Realtors, goes on to say that we've already seen a stumble in the national economic recovery. Obviously, this is pertaining to this. He does go on to say that we've seen a nice dip in the housing amounts, the sales prices, so we may not see any more. Do you think so? I don't know. I think we may see a bit more of a dip. He does work for NAR, so he's got to be careful here. But I think we will see a little bit more of a dip, but it is something to think about, and it is being mentioned at the highest levels. Okay, the next report, once again, I covered this last week, but we have a new report out from Stephen Thomas. Get that on my website as well. I'm going to just lightly touch on it. Go to the website. It's a very detailed report, far too detailed to really go through in great detail here on the video. But let's look at his 2011 mid-year overall report. He does say that, that so far, the first half of the year has been pretty slow, but there is evidence that things may be building up for the second half of the year. So at least his insights there. In his overall inventory, and part of that is he sees that the inventory has risen a bit to this point, but he does see a slight decrease in the inventory in Orange County for listings until the end of the year, basically until the first part of next year. You can go into all his reasonings. He's a statistician. Stephen Thomas does a great job, but he really gets into the deep in the weeds here. So you want to print that report and go on to that. He says, as we've mentioned before, that this market is really broken down into 3 markets. I know I've talked a lot to you guys about this out on the streets, in that we've got the below 500,000 market, still fairly strong. You've got the $500,000 to $1 million market. It's getting a little squishy, a little soft out there. But then over $1 million, that's a rough market. I was down along the water yesterday at some of the broker previews. Gorgeous homes. They're not moving right now. It's really tough in that area. So it really is breaking down those 3 markets. We need to see how the rates and how the programs are working to see if we can get people back into those programs. Finally, the distress market. Boy, that market's really flattened out. The short sales, the foreclosures, with all that's going on in the banks, and still a few of these loan modifications going through. Not a lot, not as much, but you've got that distress market really flattening out. But go through this report. You've got the great charts and graphs. I'll bring one up here. He goes through once again. You can't get too much information. Really helps you when you're working with those sellers and helping position them. Got a lot of unreasonable sellers out there. I know, I talk to you, I hear it every day. But the more information they have, the more doses of reality that they have, the better, because you can really educate them and get them going where they need to be. Okay, finally, I want to bring up my next little conservative happy hour that I'm putting together. It's going to be in Newport Beach. I'll bring up a flyer. It's on August 11th. Put it down on your calendar. August 11th from 5:30 on into the evening. I've got some great speakers, live music. Got Frank Joseph still playing on the guitar. Should be a great time. It is going to be at the Newport Beach Golf Course at 3100 Irvine Avenue in Newport Beach, right by the airport. Love to have you there. It's a lot of fun. Put it on your calendar and come on out. A lot of you have come out, but definitely put it on your calendar. Hey, we're heading into a great weekend. Give me a call. I'm at 949-689-5626. But get more calls from you regarding your buyers. That's very exciting. We'll get them approved. We'll get their credit. We'll make sure they're ready to go. Cover all the little nuances that are coming up in the industry. But a lot of folks are still able to buy. So let's get them going. Let's get them in escrow and have a real great rally to the end of the year. All right. Well, God bless you. God bless your families as you're getting through the summer here. And God bless America. We'll talk soon. Bye-bye.
Money.